Welcome back to Drola's Garage. I bought another car, 997, black on black, manual, 6-speed, 64,000 miles. Another Copart car, kind of a mystery car. Again, all my cars I seem to buy are mystery cars. So I'm on my way to meet the driver and see what awaits me. So stay tuned. So here she is. This is a 2007 997.1, 64,000 miles. We'll see. I don't know anything about it. It's supposedly a flood car, but running and driving. And you guys know I have experience already with these flood cars. Pretty much figured out what it takes to get them running. So let's see what happens. I don't know. Let's get it off the truck. Look what these guys did with the forklift over there. Man, same thing on that side. Oh well. All right, let's get this thing unloaded. See what happens. Just from initial inspection, I can already see a bunch of moisture inside the car. There's a lot of condensation inside those windows. We'll see what happens. So apparently the car was supposed to be a running, driving car, but it doesn't drive. It runs, engine starts, it sounds great, but it doesn't go into gear. You push the clutch in, you put it in the gear, in the selector, you let the clutch out, and absolutely nothing happens. So we had to get a long strap because the car was all the way in the back of the truck, or the front of the truck actually. So we had to get a long strap and yank it out. So I'll have to see what that's all about. Put it up on the lift. I don't know, maybe it might be a shifter cable or something. Hopefully it's something simple. So we'll see. So here she is. I had to push it out of the way because, as usual, cars get dropped off here in the middle of the street. So I have to kind of clear the way. I was kind of looking over the car a little bit. It looks to be in pretty decent condition. It's dirty. The guy told me, the car came from Syracuse, New York. He said it was covered in snow when he went to pick it up. So it is filthy. I kind of expected that. What I wasn't expecting is when they sell the cars a running, driving car, yeah, the engine starts, but it does not move. You put it in gear, you let out the clutch, and nothing happens. So I'm gonna see. First thing I got to do is get the car in there. By myself, it's going to be a little tricky. I'm going to have to figure it out though. So okay, let's take a quick look. Overall, the car seems to be in pretty good shape. Like I said, it's dirty, but it looks to be okay. I think all of that will clean off. I had to put the tow hook up there so I could pull it off the truck. One positive, which is unusual for cars that I buy, is it actually has battery and it has a key. Go figure. Look at that. One of those simple things in life that makes everything so much easier. It starts. Let's see. The deck lid opens. The front opens. It's just a standard Carrera 2 base model, 3.6. Looks stock to me. The only thing I did notice, I believe there's a cat bypass on that car. I'll have to check it, but I don't know. I'll have to check it. I saw something. I say it definitely sounds more than stock. Yet I don't know. It did come from New York, so they do have, as far as I know, emissions over there. But yeah, no. What does it have? I don't know. Whatever. It's got some kind of pipes there. I'll have to figure it out. No big deal. Interior looks pretty nice. Door panel looks good. Seats look good. There was moisture in here. I showed earlier in the video that when the car was on the truck, all the windows were full of condensation. So I'll have to get to the bottom of that. The front looks okay. It feels a little, these rugs here, these are the rear rugs. It feels a little damp, but really nothing of concern. So yeah, overall it's not a bad car. I just got to figure out why it doesn't go into gear. Inside, the car is pretty nice. Don't really see much wrong with it. I did find in the glove box, of course, no manuals, because why would a car from the auction come with manuals? I found this little guy. No, wait, not that one. This one. If anybody knows what this is, looks like a fuse, but it's actually a resistor. And you use these to bypass the airbag when you change the steering wheel. So it is possible that this car had a different steering wheel at some point, or something. I don't know. Yeah, this is definitely someone was tinkering. Let's see. Car has 64,000 miles. It's got an airbag light on. It starts fine. Okay. If I put my seatbelt on, light turns off. So the only light I have is the airbag light, and they were messing around with something, so I'm going to hook up the Duramatric to it. I'm going to clear that code, and hopefully that'll be the end of it. Let's see, that seems to work. AC, the buttons are a little ugly. I know there's a fix for those, but it blows cold. Doesn't really smell bad in here. Center console's not all beat up. Steering wheel is nice. Yeah, it looks like a decent car. If only it would roll, but it doesn't. See, first gear, second gear, I let out the clutch, nothing happens. I can even almost go into gear without even using the clutch. So I don't know. We'll have to see. There's absolutely zero fuel in it. Sunroof seems to work. So overall, not a bad car. Just got to get to the bottom of the shifter issue, but I got to get it inside first, and I'm by myself, so it's going to be a little difficult, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to push the car out this way. I put a tow hook in the back here, and then I'm going to get this car with a tow hook here, and from there just pull it in, and that way I can get it on the lift here to check out that transmission issue. Before I actually put it up in the air though, I'm going to check the shifter itself. I'll pull up the the shift boot and see what I can find in there, and if not, then I'll put it in the air and look underneath. But that's what I got to do. Regardless, I got to get it inside. I'm going to put it on the lift no matter what, because that way it's out of my way and I can still get cars underneath it. So that's next. What I have to do is turn a little bit to get the angle. I'll lock the wheel and pull the key out. See if the steering wheel will lock. There we go. And that way, little by little, I'll pull it up into the shop with the silver car and a strap. Aside from that, it's dirty. Not a bad looking car from back here, from this angle. Actually, it's not a bad looking car from any angle. 997s are beautiful cars, but it looks nice. I wasn't 100% sure it would work, but yeah, look at that. It's coming right in. I would like to say thank you to the 996 for making this possible, because otherwise there's no way I would have been able to get this car inside of here. There's an angle going down into the street, and pushing a car up by myself is practically impossible unless maybe I want to give myself a hernia or something, which I don't want to do. So again, thank you to the 996 for making it possible. Okay, so by now, I think you guys know me well enough that I do not like check engine lights, or even the dreaded possibility of that visit workshop light, because I will not visit the workshop. So let's see what happens here. Let's hook up the Duramatric. Let's look at the airbag, fault codes. Eesh, just about everything. Okay, so let's erase them and see if they come back. No? Okay, so we'll leave it at that for now. Let's see. Engine module. Wow, it's had some pretty massive over revs. And it looks like it was 3 hours ago. Wow. Huh. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Maybe that's what's wrong with the transmission. Misfiring cylinder 1. All right, I mean, the car seems to run pretty steady. I don't know why it keeps... So let's erase those fault codes. Yeah, that's pretty massive. That's a hard miss shift. We'll see. I mean, the engine seems to run fine. Usually it's the engine that would give you problems, not the transmission, but we'll see. Okay, so suspension. Obviously, it's not an all-wheel drive. There's nothing here. Oh, this car doesn't have PASM. All right, let's see. Instrument cluster. Nothing. That's good. Electrical. Rain sensor. Yeah, like I'm worried about a rain sensor. All right. Airbag we did. Steering column, air conditioning. I don't know. Everything else seems to be working okay. Fault comfort. I don't know. Some canned stuff here. Let's just erase everything and then see what happens when we start, when, you know, as time passes. I think 50. Okay, let's erase everything. Because who knows what other people touched. All right. I think that's probably about it. Uh-oh, rear control unit. I know all about those. This was a flood car supposedly, so that does make some sense. And the Durametric gets stuck, not responding. I hate when that happens. All right, well, that's about it anyway. So yeah, it's got some over revs on there, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of scary stage 6 over rev. That's pretty bad. But usually it would be the motor that would get messed up. And the motor sounds fine. I mean, battery's dead, but it sounds fine. Oh, and I still have the airbag light. Okay, so maybe that module, the one that's under here, just like on the RS, maybe that module went bad because I'm getting airbag light again. So, all right, now I know. All right, well, underneath doesn't look bad. It's dirty. Obviously, looks like it's never been cleaned down here. This is all from the forklifts. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit of corrosion on that, but no big deal. Comes right off. It's got some kind of muffler system on it. It doesn't have a cap bypass like I thought. It has a, what does it say? Leistung International INT. I don't know what. Anyway, it sounds pretty nice. So I need to get that pan off right there, this one, to be able to look at the transmission and see if I can figure something out as to why it's, it's not going into gear. What I'm finding is, in neutral, the wheels spin nice and easy. If I put it, let's say I put it into gear, right? Into gear, now, there's a lot more resistance, which tells me that the transmission seems to be doing its job, but it is not locking up on the motor, which tells me that the clutch is probably shot on this car. Looks like I will have to pull that transmission down and change the clutch. Not thrilled about having to do that, but it looks like that's going to be what fixes. Even just to diagnose it, to see if that's the problem, I have to take the transmission out. From what I understand on these cars, you can remove the transmission without the engine. So I'll see about that. But that seems to be the problem. Clutch. So it occurred to me, before I get too involved with this car, time, financially, before I start doing anything with this car, I'm going to pull the oil filter out and see if I find anything bad. So I'm gonna do that now. I'll pull this guy out. I'll just check the oil. I'll go through the filter, and if I see particles and stuff like that, then I don't know. I'll see what I do. But you know, I think that's probably a good idea. So before I get too involved here and I start doing a bunch of work on this car, just to make sure that at least I'm starting with a good baseline. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Boy, am I ever glad I looked. Look at that. Lots of metal inside that filter. I'm so glad I looked, because otherwise I would have been doing a lot of work for nothing. Yeah. All right. Well, that answers that. I am not going to put any time or energy into this car, and I will find a buyer for it as is. This one's a dud. That's okay. Kind of a shame because it's a nice car otherwise, but it is what it is. Ooh. So that's gonna do it for today. I'm a little disappointed. I was looking forward to making this into a really nice car. It is a nice car, but I just don't feel like getting into engine issues. Maybe at some other point I would, but right now I have too many other things lined up that the time it's going to take to deal with a motor is not worth it for me. So I'll find a home for it. Listen, there's plenty of people looking for nice, clean 997s. They're putting Honda engines in them, or LS engine, I don't know, whatever. It's a good base. The car is solid. It just, you know, it's going to need a little bit of love. So I'll go move the car along. So I appreciate you guys watching another adventure of mine on these mystery cars that I buy. I don't know, I have fun with it. So you know, please like the videos if you liked it. Please subscribe, leave me any comments, and until the next time, thanks for watching.